Back to School, issue number 4 from Image Comics. This is the final issue of this series, and oh boy, the way this series ends. So I'm going to be discussing everything. So there will be spoilers. Usually for my videos, I usually talk about like the first half of an issue and then just kind of give my thoughts on it. And I leave the ending in the second half just spoiler free so that you can go find out for yourself. But the ending of this kind of needs to be talked about. So basically, there's this slasher called The Mother who goes around and kidnaps kids who want a family and kind of brainwashes them and gives them almost like a hallucination of their like perfect life. Basically, it goes after kids that are feeling neglected and stuff. The kids get brainwashed. During the brainwashing, they kill their parents, and then she comes and steals them away. We have Cassie. She's in the academy, and in the last issue, Kitty was infected by Mother and ended up killing her cat, and they basically are like burning the bodies. And we're going on lockdown until Mother gets found, but that's kind of all we're given. And so we just have like them chilling out on the beach during the summer, going on Halloween, trick-or-treating, building snowmen during the winter, training. Vlad eventually, like they start using Vlad as a training dummy kind of. And then we have a moment where Cassie is going to practice with her bats when she gets a letter from Sam saying, meet me in the library. So they meet up in the library and they kind of discuss their life. I'm going to kind of be skipping a bit of that. But Sam is the one that comes up with the idea to put nails in Cassie's bats. And she's also the one that come up with the ideas to write "kiss it" on the bats. And that eventually leads to them having sex. Yeah. I didn't care for this part too much. Again, not because I have any problems with lesbians or Cassie having sex with other girls or anything like that. It's within her character because that's how she is in the original series. I only have a problem with this because of the fact that, one, she doesn't know she's really a lesbian when the series first starts off. Like her discovering her sexuality and that the fact that she's attracted to women plays a really big part in an arc. And also the fact that she's a virgin. Not, all the way through the series, but the fact that there's an arc that's she's a virgin and that's why she becomes like a sacrifice. It plays a huge part. Her sexuality and her virginity plays a huge part. So her having lesbian sex, like, it kind of retcons that. And the series kind of tries to fix that later on in this issue, but it doesn't work. And I'll get into that later on. But yeah, we get lesbian sex, we get tits, and Cassie getting fingered. I'm probably going to get demonetized for this. But eventually they kind of talk about their life. So they start making plans to run away from this academy, go buy a house somewhere away from society, raise 2 dogs, and just be happy lesbians. And as this is going down, like they tell Boo Boo about this, and Boo Boo's super happy for them. And then that's when we get this like kind of messed up situation where they are all like happy, and it's like happy, 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 happy family, love, 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 together, together, together. And then we realize that Cassie has been brainwashed this entire time. That Mother had somehow gotten control of her. And Cassie went on the killing spree. She brutally murdered everybody in the academy. So everybody is dead. And we just see Cassie and she slaughtered everybody. And I was like, all right. I was not expecting this turn. I was wondering like what they were going to do because the Mother situation had to be finished by this issue. And how did we go from Cassie like wanting to run away with Sam to how she is now? How did she forget the fact that she was a lesbian and all this stuff? Like I had a feeling that something terrible was going to happen. And yeah, Cassie basically kills everybody. And so Daria is like, I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm sorry that I failed you. And Cassie kills her by hitting her over the head with a bat. And so everybody's dead except for Vlad, who shows up and beats Mother death. And all I'm just thinking is, where was Vlad this entire time? Because there's a bunch of kids here. Like we see them in the cafeteria. It's basically like that scene out of Hogwarts. Almost exactly. Like we have a bunch of long ass tables and just packed with kids. How has Vlad not heard any kind of commotion? Actually, how was Cassie able to murder all these people without one of them stopping her? It's Cassie versus a load of other students. So a bunch of other girls her age, maybe a little bit younger, some a little bit older. Not one of them was able to even get a hit off on Cassie. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Cassie. I think she's badass, but no way is she able to take out an entire school of people her own age who have been in this business longer than her at this point in time. Because this is a prequel to the series. So she's only been training the hunt slashers for a few months now. There have been other students that have been there a lot longer. Sam, for example, has been there for a lot longer. So how did Cassie get the skills required to murder everybody without any of them putting up a fight? And even being able to murder Daria without Daria being able to put up a fight? And how was Vlad just not aware of any of this going down? So that whole thing, it doesn't make sense to me. But Mother gets killed by Vlad, and then eventually that breaks the hypnosis that's on Cassie, and Cassie realizes what she did, and she kind of like faints from this. So Vlad takes her and carries her to this underground location where she's going to get her memory wiped out. So yeah, they're basically doing a whole Deus Ex Machina. It was a dream the entire time, only this wasn't a dream. This is just, we're going to erase your memory so this never happened. And so they erase her memories. So then we cut to years later where Cassie is her original OG self. And she's like just talking with Vlad at a cemetery. And Vlad's like holding a photo that shows Cassie and Sam and Boo Boo and stuff. And he's kind of like reminiscing about that. He refuses to show it to Cassie, obviously. And then she sees like a gravestone that says Darla Ritz. Was I saying Daria earlier? I meant Darla. She's like, Darla, why does that name sound familiar? And Vlad's like freaking out, like, oh no, did she regain her memories? And Cassie's like, oh, wasn't she in like Slasher Sisters 2? That was a really terrible movie. You want to go watch that? And then Vlad's like, how about we watch something else instead? And that's how it ends. And I didn't care for this ending at all. Because, one, you're kind of retconning stuff. Because, okay, the memory wipe will explain why Cassie's unfamiliar with her sexuality, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Like, I can buy that if you want to pitch that to me. It doesn't explain her virginity. Like, here she has sex with Sam, but in the OG series, she's still a virgin. And it's very important that she's still a virgin, like I said, because it plays a part in an arc. Like the fact that she's a virgin, she has to be a virgin for that arc to work. So just because you lose your memories of sex doesn't mean you are all of a sudden a virgin again. Like that's not how this works. So I didn't care for that part. I also don't care for it because it feels like this was a waste of time. It's like, oh yeah, this was just like a story of 9 months that Cassie forgot about. So then, like, what was the point? It's kind of like you want to get us back into the status quo of what Cassie was like. So you basically retcon everything, at least in universe, by having her have her memories wiped. So only Vlad is aware of everything that happens. It's just, I don't know. I hate this. It feels like a cop out. Like I would have liked something else instead. First off, drop the whole like lesbian aspect. Again, not because I have a problem with it in terms of I have a problem with LGBT or anything like that. I just have a problem with it because it ruins continuity later on. If it didn't ruin continuity, I wouldn't care. So I would have dropped that off. I would have ignored the whole like erasing memories. That seems to kind of come out of nowhere and just seems like a very big, I don't know. Like I'm just pulling this out of my ass because we need to get back to the status quo. And just have something else happen. I don't know. Maybe like Mother ends up killing a bunch of kids. They're not like ready for this. Darla ends up sacrificing herself to buy Cassie time, and Cassie and Vlad are able to kill Mother, but they're the only survivors left, and then they just continue on their way. And that kind of helps Cassie develop more of like, I can't let anyone else get close. Like Vlad's the only one, but everyone else, like I have to keep pushing them away because every time I get close to someone, I end up losing them. So that can help with the whole loner thing. Instead, no, we're just erasing all those memories. So as far as Cassie is aware, she fought a bunny at the burger joint, and that's it. So you would also think like, well, this thing just erases memories. It doesn't like replant fake memories. So wouldn't she be aware of the fact that half a year, more than half a year has passed? Like half a year is just gone from her memory banks. Like so after she woke up from having her memory wiped, wouldn't she be like, "Wait, why are we like more than half a year later? Like what the hell just happened?" No, she doesn't question this at all. We just completely skip that, obviously, because we just go from Cassie having her memories wiped to years later. So yeah, I didn't like this ending, which is kind of a shame because I like this series overall. I have my problems with it more in the sense that Cassie like never deals with any of the slashers. The slashers always either get taken out by them either offing themselves or someone else coming to save the day. That's how it was with all the other enemies in this series. And even in this series, Cassie doesn't kill Mother. It's Vlad that does it. So Cassie kills like nobody except for a bunch of girls and Darla. So all she kills are, are friendlies. She doesn't really kill any slashers because slashers get taken out by other people. So I didn't care for that. But other than that, like I like the overall story, like the idea of her going to academy with a bunch of other girls that are learning how to fight slashers sounds like it could be kind of cool. The artwork is really good. Like I think Zoe does a really amazing job with the artwork. But the just overall Cassie never kills any slashers and the ending being Cassie kills a bunch of students as well as her teacher without any one of them putting up any kind of fights. Not one of them is able to even get a scratch off on her. And then she gets her memory wiped. So it's as if this entire series never happened. It bothered me. I didn't care for that. And yeah, it kind of sucks because I recently did a review for Hack Slash, what, 20th anniversary. That was very lazy and kind of lame. Like I didn't care for that run. So I'm just like to have this issue immediately happen after the last lame Hack Slash. It's like, damn man, why can't Hack Slash get a break? Why has like it doesn't even have to be like phenomenal, like 9 out of 10 writing because Hack Slash was never that. It just needs to be like good, dumb popcorn flick fun. And I'm not even able to get that from recent Hack Slash stuff. It sucks. So yeah, I didn't care for this issue. I didn't care for this the way it ended. Like the series overall was fantastic until it got to this point. Once it got to this issue, it was just kind of I don't know. It feels very much like when you're reading a manga and it gets axed, and so it tries to wrap everything in one issue. That's kind of like what this was, where we didn't really seem to build too much towards Mama. We had little bits of her here and there, but there was really no good build up to her as a final boss. And then to just have it be like, oh, Cassie's actually technically the main villain all along because she gets brainwashed and kills everybody. And then we erase her memories and now she's back to normal. The end. Okay. Great, I guess. So, yeah, I'm going to just stop rambling here. I didn't care for this. I thought this was a poor way to end this series. I will say that I would like to see Zoe do another hack slash. I think she can nail the characters down pretty well, and her artwork is really good. I'm not gonna fault her for like just having a bad ending because everyone has a bad ending at some point. Like every writer has like one issue or one episode or one movie or whatever that's just not all that great, and that's what this issue was. Like the rest of the series has been pretty good. This is just the one that's really sucks, in my opinion. And because it's the final and it wraps everything up, it's kind of like Game of Thrones, where it's like you had a very good first 4 seasons, and then you just kind of blew it at the end, and now it kind of brings everything else down. That's kind of how I feel about this. But like, if they were to say Zoe's gonna do another hack slash, I wouldn't mind that. I think she might be able to pull off a good run. Like I said, this one it was pretty good until the end. And maybe this isn't the ending that she kind of wanted, but the ending she was forced to have because we have to try to fit back into continuity. And maybe instead of having a prequel, if she were to just have a continuation of where the last hack slash left off, maybe she would do something better. I don't know. Like I'm not opposed to her having another run at this the series, but yeah, this was just not a good finale. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.